watching the award-winning GHS-TV, a nationally recognized student television station.
Welcome to Let's Talk Business. My name is Kelly Bolton, and thank you for tuning in as we have the distinct pleasure of hosting our community's foremost leaders, entrepreneurs, and civic heroes. We're thrilled to have today Edward Bogard, founder of SoGiv, as our guest today. These have certainly been challenging times, and there are so many in need financially, physically, and personally. In these dark hours, we have also seen a tremendous outpouring of generosity and support across the nation. And Edward has long been an advocate for those in need in our community, and we're honored to have with him as our guest as he shares how SoGiv empowers us to pay it forward. Because of COVID, Edward is joining us remotely, so please join me as I welcome Edward Bogard to Let's Talk Business. Edward, thank you for joining us. We appreciate you being here.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Well, tell me, and those people that are watching the show that are not familiar with it, what is SoGiv?
Sure. SoGiv is the world's first nonprofit shoe design company, in simple.
Very cool.
It's an organization. Yeah, it's an organization that raises awareness towards worthy causes. Everything ranging from, hunger awareness to our most recent awareness shoe, which is human trafficking awareness. To date, we've provided just over 13,000 meals in partnership with our friends over at the food bank. For our SoGiv hunger awareness shoe, one pair provides 150 meals plus one to a local kid in need.
Wow.
Creatively, we were to put that to so it's a pretty big impact. For every $1 donated to the food bank is equivalent to 3 meals. So creatively, we were to put that into what our shoes retail for at $50. So here we are, 13,000 meals later. So quite the impact for sure.
Wow, that's amazing. And I mean, I don't even know where to start because what you just said, we could probably spend, hours just talking about it. But I mean, are you a shoe designer or is this your creative idea and someone else is making shoes?
No, absolutely. So, I'm a shoe designer. I'm a graduate of the Savannah College of Art and Design in Savannah, Georgia, SCAD. That's where I studied for 4 years and earned my BFA in product design. So I've always had a passion and an infatuation for shoe design. So there I just kind of, perfected my craft and came back home and birthed this really amazing organization called SoGiv. The name itself was derived from our slogan, which is every pair sold we give. So taking the S-O out of and the G-I-V out of give.
Oh, that's very creative, very creative. And
Thank you.
So how long have you been doing SoGiv? When did you start this?
We celebrate 10 years of SoGiv this year. So January, we kicked off our 10-year anniversary with our human trafficking awareness shoe in partnership with Restore Corps, a local organization here that's helping to eradicate human trafficking awareness. So one pair actually provides shelter for a woman in need. So it's pretty awesome.
That is amazing. And I mean, once again, everything you've just said, I've got 100 questions. So let me kind of step back for a minute. So you went to this, very well-respected design school. You've taken your talent and your love of shoe design, and you've turned it into a way to give back to those less fortunate, those that are hungry, and human trafficking, which are, things that in and of themselves are just breathtaking to even think that we live in a country that's so full of so much wealth and so many riches that we are facing human trafficking and hunger. And I know I'm not unlike many women and men. I do love shoes. And so to take that love of shoes and then to turn that into something that can give back, I just, hats off to you. So let's maybe peel back a few of these layers. So you go to design school, you love designing shoes, and you have been doing this since you said 2011. So at what point did you turn your passion and love of shoes and design into something for the nonprofit world? I mean, was
Absolutely.
that kind of all? Sorry, I didn't mean to step in front of you there, but I was trying to think: was there some place along the way that you were doing this, and then eventually you just birthed this nonprofit organization, and you kind of had been doing it all along?
Right. So graduated college in 2005. So there was that period of, searching and finding out, exactly, what the niche would be. So taking a job with another startup footwear company and designing some really cool shoes, for the NBA, the Grizzlies being one of our teams that we design shoes for.
Wow.
And then, just realizing that I wanted to do more than create something that was aesthetically pleasing. I wanted to create something with meaning and that also gave back. So just underneath our logo, you'll notice there's this mark underneath the GIV of SoGiv. And that mark symbolizes the entire world racing towards what we all believe is a finish line. So that finish line being cures for, the various causes, that we champion at SoGiv. So yeah, that was kind of the aha moment, during that phase, from graduating from say a span of 2005 to 2011, just not really fully being satisfied with just creating, shoes, and that was it. That was the easy part.
Right.
But nowhere else in the world, was there a company, an organization that created shoes that raises awareness for a purpose. Each time out. Not only was it but they're also crazy cool looking. Our latest shoe in partnership with Restore Corps, I basically took a work of art, essentially a canvas upper, and turned it into a work of art. So local artist Amy Hutchison, who's a phenomenal artist and has shows opening everywhere. She's really big out in California as well. But one of her abstract pieces incorporated the color scheme for human trafficking awareness. So creatively, I was able to put that into a canvas upper, and it's a beautiful, beautiful shoe.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty special for sure.
That
I think
is
you like
really
it.
neat. Well, what has been your biggest inspiration? What inspired you to do this?
Absolutely, for sure. So my mom, school teacher of 35 years, SES, Memphis City Schools at the time, she would take a lot of my clothes and shoes and store them into the locker rooms of, her classroom to give to the struggling families throughout the school year. She taught in Orange Mound, so a very poverty-stricken area of the city. And she was teaching me at a very young age how to pay it forward and how to give back to those less fortunate. I didn't really understand at the time why some of my favorite kicks were, being stored in her locker,
right,
or, the clothes I was looking for. But that was her way of teaching me, again,
wow,
at a very young age, how to pay it forward and how to give back. And also my father, he, an ex, military, vet, was an amazing artist in his own rights. And that's pretty much where I inherited my talent from. So I combined the two, ultimately with philanthropy and design. So I've coined this title, philanthropic designer. That's what I am.
Well, that is awesome. Thank you very much. We're going to pause for a short commercial break, so please stick around.
GHS-TV started in 1982, and it was just a couple of cameras, a couple of on-air personality, and it's really grown into what you see today. It's a multi-million-dollar studio with top-of-the-line technology.
Being able to operate, all of the machinery in the control room, being able to use all of our software and hardware that we have around the studio is a great skill because this is top-of-the-line equipment.
I feel like this class has brightened my horizon. It's something that I never thought I would be doing, especially as a student.
GHS-TV is probably one of the most hands-on experiences a student will ever get in their lifetime.
Welcome back to Crosstalk. Nothing really has just the vibe that we have here.
Especially after you finish, you get a real rush of, wow, I just did that.
By the time a student graduates from Germantown High School, they will know pretty much every position there is, from producing to directing to on-air work.
You learn time management, you learn organization, you learn how to work with people, how to better communicate with people.
We put a lot on them, and they have to be able to have the responsibility and the knowledge to get everything that we ask them.
I had very little experience, so in the past 3 years, the skills that I've learned have absolutely exponentially grown.
The class has actually helped me figure out that I want to go to college for journalism.
When a student graduates, they are the best possible version of themselves that they can be.
Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you tomorrow.
For more information about the Kappa program, visit ghskappa.com or call 755-7775. You're watching the award-winning GHS-TV, a nationally recognized student television station.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Business. If you're just tuning in, I'm Kelly Bolton, and today we've had the distinct pleasure of talking with Edward Bogard, founder of SoGiv, a local nonprofit committed to helping those in need. As we operate in a COVID world, Edward is joining us remotely, so join me as I welcome back Edward to our program. Edward, thank you so much for being here with us today. I know as we took a break, we were talking about the phrase that you've coined, and it's a philanthropic designer. Is that what you said?
Absolutely, absolutely. Yes. I mean, our shoes, they've, in partnership with the Salvation Army, has made an impact all the way out in Romania. Most recently, some of the captains of the Salvation Army took pictures in front of the monumental parliament, the biggest building over there. So it's
that
pretty cool.
Is really, that's amazing. Well, tell me why Memphis? You obviously you grew up in Memphis, and with your talent and your I guess drive, you could have gone any place. So what made you come back here, where you were, I guess, born and raised?
Absolutely. I just wanted to come back home and birth something that has never been done here in the city. Being a native Memphian and going off to school to study for 4 years and living out in Savannah, Georgia, I was offered numerous job offers to go and be a product designer. One of the biggest ones I turned down was being a product designer for Cleveland Golf. I'm a big golfer still, but I had a full ride to play collegiate golf. And I turned that down to ultimately pursue my passion for footwear design, and I was awarded a portfolio scholarship to SCAD, which is a pretty awesome feat within itself.
That is amazing. Well, you are very talented. So you're an athlete and you're artistic. And have you combined that love of athletic wear and your artistic abilities and your love of footwear? I mean, is that all coming together in this organization, SoGiv?
Absolutely. So our very first shoe was a running shoe, and here we are 10 years later, and we launched another running shoe inspired by the Black Lives Matter movement, and it's inspired to evoke change, basically, to keep the conversation going, and just it's designed to be inspiring and to give hope.
Yes.
For sure.
I can see that, and a running shoe is a great way to inspire. I mean, you're running towards something.
It is.
Maybe we're running toward our future. That's
right.
And what about human trafficking? I mean, when you say human trafficking and we talk about hunger, both of those things are just painful, but we're very aware of hunger in our own community. I think we are. Whether people choose to do anything about it is a different story, but we are aware because there's food pantries and food kitchens and all that sort of thing. But when you talk about human trafficking and you talk about right here in Shelby County, is that happening in our area? Is it an issue that has to be addressed? Because you don't read about it and you don't hear about it as much as you do some of these other things.
Absolutely, and the sad part is the numbers are pretty staggering. I won't, misquote anything, but if you Google it, it's right there. Or really just simply visit restorecorpse.org to get the full story of just how much of an issue it is right here in the Mid-South. It really is.
That's just mind-boggling. And tell me about the shoe you did for that. You said you did the running shoe was your second running shoe for Black Lives Matter to kind of keep awareness and keep the momentum moving forward. And what about for human trafficking? What shoe did you design for that?
Sure. So that was a slip-on, a canvas slip-on. And we did something similar with Steven Tyler and his organization, Janie's Fund. And that was all about raising awareness for abused girls. So that's a cause that we definitely champion at SoGiv for sure.
Oh, that's neat. So you have, you mentioned Steven Tyler, the Grizzlies, you've thrown out some names. It sounds like you definitely have the eye and the recognition and the support of some very important people, not only in our community, but throughout the country.
Absolutely, yeah. It's been quite the impact and quite the journey. It's very exciting to see, you know, how it all unfolds and to see where it started. Because the first couple of years of starting SoGiv, I really just wanted to, you know, paint the picture. You know, not really fully knowing or understanding what it was myself before ever releasing a shoe. We were able to orchestrate some of the most amazing partnerships. The Westin Hotels, Starbucks was another one of our biggest initiatives where we gave hundreds of cups of coffee to the homeless downtown Memphis and cups of tea, and we have live performances. You know, so I wanted people to know exactly what SoGiv was before a simple shoe, before a singular was ever released, because to me that was the easy part. I had that part down pat, but I wanted to create a culture, if you will, a culture of what we'd like to call SoGiving.
Well, is this your full-time job, or do you have any other work that you do?
Absolutely, this is it right here. Of course, I'm an entrepreneur, a social entrepreneur. So I have many things that I'm working on, but yes, this is full-time for sure.
And how many help you or work with you? You surely can't pull this off alone.
Right, absolutely. I'm very hands-on though, so 99.9% of it is me. I do have my supporting cast though, from photographers to our, you know, amazing, you know, web designers and social media, you know, people to help manage our pages, etc. But the creativity and things of that nature, that's all me. Absolutely.
Well, you have a very, very, very remarkable story, and we're going to take a break here in just one moment. We're going to take another break, so please stick around as we continue our discussion on how SoGiv is impacting the lives of so many in need.
We see the potential in every single student.
That sounds like a confession to me.
I love watching these kids as they start as freshmen in high school and watching them mature and grow.
At last, my right arm is complete again!
The theater program at GHS, it's something special.
It's very intensive, it's very interactive. When a student starts here their freshman year, they start with Introduction to Theater. And after that year, they have a choice to either go into acting or technical theater. And then after that, they join our production workshop class. It's the class that is completely run by students.
The students do mostly everything. We build the sets, we do lighting, we make the costumes, we do the show.
We've got magic, we've got power.
It's very fun. I mean, everybody's very supportive of each other.
Now we're all in this together. It's taught me so much about how to act and how to have a stage presence.
Not only are we teaching the students the skills that they need to be a great performer or a great stage manager or a wonderful lighting designer, we're teaching them skills that they're going to be able to apply to whatever they do in their life.
God bless us, everyone.
This department not only makes wonderful theater, but more importantly, this department makes wonderful people.
I won! I'm done! Get used to it!
For more information about the Kappa program, visit ghskappa.com or call 755-7775. You're watching the award-winning GHS-TV, a nationally recognized student television station.
Thank you for joining us on Let's Talk Business. I'm your host, Kelly Bolton, and today we've been discussing the amazing work that SoGiv, a local nonprofit, is doing in Memphis. Please join me as I welcome back Edward Bogard, SoGiv's founder, via camera as we conduct our interview socially distanced. Edward, thank you so much for staying with us. One thing I wanted to talk to you about is how people can partner with SoGiv. What can they do to be a part of this wonderful organization that you started?
Absolutely. I mean, simply email us at edward@sogiv.org or visit the website. But that's the quickest, easiest way to do it. Of course, you can also reach out to us via our social media pages. On Facebook at SoGiv, at More Than a Shoe, on Instagram, Twitter is at SoGiv. So any one of those multiple ways I just mentioned, you can partner. Reach out to us to discuss a potential partnership.
And what if somebody wants to buy your shoes? Where do they go to buy your shoes?
Absolutely, SoGiv.org. We have an online store on our website at SoGiv.org. Just click the store link.
Okay, go to the store links. Are any of them being sold in retail stores, any place in the country?
Not at the time. We've done that in the past, but not right now.
But maybe something down the road. That would be wonderful. But you have to take one bite at a time, right?
Without a doubt. Without a doubt.
That's fabulous.
We like exclusivity of. Yes, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh no, you go ahead.
Oh, sure. I was just saying we like to keep the exclusivity level of the shoe up by being available only online. But yeah, there is a lot of talks in the future to go, in more retail stores for sure.
I can see that a retail store would want to have your shoes. Not only are they fabulous, but to be able to give back to something. I can see that there might be a little fighting over who got to put your shoes in their stores. Now, I would be remiss because we're filming here at Germantown High School. And I know you wanted to share with our audience some exciting news about Germantown High School and their design team. So would you mind sharing with our audience that?
Oh, absolutely. It was the best time ever. It took place last year, just before the pandemic. Hard to believe this is the 1-year anniversary of all of this madness. But just before the pandemic, we were able to partnership with SES. It was a 27-school partnership that involved all 27 SES schools and what we call a design charrette. And that's simply, in short, a design intensive. It's 3 days of organized chaos where you're put in teams of 5, hundreds of students, and Germantown High School ultimately walked away with the winning awareness shoe design, SoGiv awareness shoe design for breast cancer awareness. But the top 3 schools were Overton High School, Germantown High School. I mean, Overton was the runner-up for sure, but Germantown took home the gold.
Well, that is great. Well, I wish those students were here, and I wish we were back in person currently, because we would have definitely had the students that made that design make a guest appearance, just so we could say hats off to them. So that's wonderful. Well, if you were given advice to someone else who had a passion for a cause and a desire to, to really just to make a difference, what advice would you give them?
I would say, to never give up on your, your dream or your passion. One of the stories that I like to tell the kids whenever I come in and speak to, the kids at the adopted schools that we have at SoGiv, is, look, I wasn't a great standardized test taker. In fact, I was terrible at math. And I, ultimately was, I received a portfolio scholarship, but I was on academic probation my first year at SCAD. But the great story of that is that I spent 4 years on National Dean's List. So it's turning a negative into a positive and never giving up on, my dreams and my vision. I always knew that I wanted to be a shoe designer. And yeah, the rest, the universe will make way, for you, if you just hone in on your skills and your passion.
And work hard. And where did you get your work ethic?
Work hard.
Yeah, where did you get that work ethic? It sounds like a combination of your mom and your dad.
Oh, both. I mean, very militant background with my dad. and mom is a school teacher, so
Yes.
you kind of got a double dosage right there. Yeah, for sure.
Well, it looks like you instead of rebelling after graduation, it sounds like you took the best of what they both had to offer and played it forward, or as you say, pay it forward. So tell me, tell me about your favorite shoe you've ever designed.
You know, so before the Black Lives Matter awareness shoe and before the human trafficking awareness shoe, it was the very first shoe, which basically embodied the entire world on the front panel design of the shoe. And that was taken from our mark, our SoGiv mark. And it's just a great way to teach kids a little geography lesson, if you will, so they're able to learn their 7 continents through. But that mark is featured on every single SoGiv shoe. Yeah, I don't know. It's right now it's a toss up between, you know, human trafficking and the Black Lives Matter shoes. Those are 2 pretty cool shoes.
Well, and what an amazing.
I love them all. You know,
Yeah.
So, but yeah.
Oh, absolutely. And is there anything on the horizon? I mean, what's next? Or can you give us an idea of what's in the pipeline? Or is that still top secret?
It's top secret, but be on the lookout for a pretty special announcement before the month is out. We're starting a pretty huge campaign. Yes, it's pretty cool. It's something like a slogan and something like a movement.
Well, very good. Very good. Well, that's a reason that people need to go and sign up for your Instagram and
right.
Twitter
Yes.
and that sort of thing, so
Yes.
they can be on the cutting edge of what's happening. And
Absolutely.
you know, if you could project forward, and we have just probably about a minute left, but if you could project forward 5 years, 10 years from now, where do you see yourself and where do you see SoGiv?
Well, ultimately, you know, going back to the mark, it features all 7 continents. So we ultimately want to have a SoGiv chapter in each of the 7 continents.
That is
Doing the great work that we're doing right now.
Well, I will tell you, I, for one, am supportive of that cause, and having met you today, I believe that will happen. So maybe 5 years or 10 years from now, you'll be a guest on the show, and we're going to be talking about where you're located in all of the continents. So thank you so much for your time. And we're going to mark it on the calendar. 5 years or 10 years, you pick, and we're going to come back and make sure on every continent. So thank you very much, Edward. We appreciate you. Once again, I want to thank our guest, Edward Bogard, for being with us today. And we want to thank you for tuning in. To learn more about SoGiv, please check out their website at sogiv.org. And we hope you enjoyed the program, and we hope it shed some light on the positive ways that we can help our community during these times as we live in a great city. For more information on our show, please check us out on the web at GHS-TV.org, where we're streaming live 24 hours a day. You can also check us out on Facebook and Twitter. I hope you've enjoyed our discussion, and I hope you will join us again next month on Let's Talk Business.